Hey guys, it's Kristen. I am back to share my final favorites with you for homeschooling. I'm going to share with you my favorite math books, grammar, writing, reading, and a suggestion for art. So let's start with math. When you're shopping, again, you're going to see a lot of our amazing books have been sold out, and we are expecting a lot of them back next month. So side note, if you see something that says coming soon and you want it, just message me and I will see what day we expect it back. Maybe we can schedule you for your own party and hook you up with that book for free. You can go ahead and get the other stuff now and just add that on later. I did check and see that all of our wrap-ups are in stock. So you are in luck because these are a real treasure. We have addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, fractions. We even have states and capitals. And we're starting to get more sets like music theory. I believe we have a Spanish set. Spanish. I was thinking language because I was trying to remember we have a language arts set, a vocabulary, something like that. We do. Anyways, this is the addition set, and the way that these wrap-ups work is you start here, it even says start, and for this whole key, we're adding 1. So we're starting with 3 and we're adding 1, and we're going to go to the 4, come back to the next value, it's 6, we're adding 1, 7, 10 plus 1 is 11, and you do that for the entire key. Just finish this up real quick. I know you know your +1 facts and you don't need to hear them from me. So when they're finished, they just hook it here. Now, looks crazy, right? Well, on the back, these are self-checking. There are ridges, and if your lines cross all of those ridges, then you have gotten the entire key correct. These are great for rote memorization, doing drills. If you have 2 kids working on their addition facts, get 2 of them. Let them set a timer for a minute and see how many they can do in 1 minute. Let them compete to see who can finish the +3s the fastest and things like that. I do that with my kids. I have duplicates of several of them. Sometimes with, my oldest being almost 13 and I have one who's just starting addition, he can do the division one and she can do the addition one, and they can still have some friendly competition, seeing who can go the fastest. Now, we do have plenty of books on other math topics. If you need more than just that, we have Lift the Flat books from fractions and decimals to measuring things. We have some activity books. Now, for grammar, one of our newest additions to our catalog is Lift the Flat Grammar and Punctuation. And I'm like, where has this been all my life? In this book, we can work on nouns and pronouns, adjectives, verbs, adverbs, prepositions, so parts of speech, sentences, apostrophes, nouns. Any word that tells you the name of a person, animal, or thing is a noun. It talks about common nouns and proper nouns and capitalizing common nouns. It talks about making them plural. Pronouns down here, adjectives. The flaps just make everything more fun. Kids, they don't even realize that they are doing their grammar lesson when they get to sit down with one of these books. And so you can turn this into a lesson. Say, for example, you are studying verbs for the week. You can read this page, and then one day you can give them a list of action verbs and have them act them out, and then see if they can add to the list and continue acting them out. Here's a section that tells about how when you change the ending, you can change when the action takes place. I will cycle, I am cycling, I cycled. So another idea is to get a piece of paper, fold it in thirds so that you have 3 columns. Give them an example, like the cycle one, and you can write I will cycle, and you can have them finish the rest of the chart. You can change things up by leaving the I will, the future tense column blank, and then for the present tense I am column, you could put I am running, and then you can leave the past tense column blank again and let them fill in different tenses as they go. So there's many ways that you can take a pretty simple book like this and you can make it work for you the entire year. this is not something where you cover all of this in one day. You spend weeks on nouns, you spend weeks on verbs, you spend weeks on sentences and punctuation. So just let one page spread be your guide and continue to reference it along the way and make up activities that can go along with it. For your handwriting, I absolutely recommend Wipe Clean starting cursive. I'm so glad that this is in stock. My number one complaint at vendor events is that my kids are not learning cursive at school. So this is always a bestseller, even in parties. People really want their kids to still know how to write in cursive and especially know how to read cursive. So while you are homeschooling, even if it's temporary, it's a really good opportunity for your kids to learn cursive, and you can incorporate some lessons for writing letters. You can look up how to write a formal letter, and you can have your kids practice that. I let my kids take care of cleaning these pages off, and they don't always do a good job. So that's why you're seeing, I'm surprised it's not full of writing, honestly. So they made a little progress with that. But you can get a pen pal and you can let your kids practice writing letters back and forth. And then we also have some printing practice. This could kind of be some spelling practice. There's the writing. But mostly I like books like this for handwriting practice so that my kids can see and emulate proper letter formation and write words. And the Wipe Clean books are just so fun. They take a lot of the stress off of them, because if they make a mistake, I don't know what it is, but having to erase and then having the eraser crumbles and brushing them off, my kids get really frustrated. But when they can just wipe it away, and I even tell them, don't worry, if you mess up, just wipe it away, it's fine. They just, I don't know, they enjoy it more and they practice more. So again, this is something that you don't have to do all in one day. It can be something that you spread out over the course of 10 or 12 weeks. I highly recommend the Ordinary Parent's Guide to Teaching Reading. I've taught 3 of my kids with it so far. I know plenty of people have other favorites out there, but that's the only one that I've ever used. And then of course, lots of reading practice, like with our first reading set or with our Read with Usborne Level 1 books, our phonics readers, but also reading aloud needs to be a part of your homeschool. We actually have what we call morning time, and that's where we practice a song together. Every month we change song and we're practicing a different song. I read my kids a poem every morning. We are religious, so we do a devotional and we read from the Bible and we pray every morning. And then we also have a little read aloud. Usually we have our main read aloud going at night, but we also have something in the morning where we read just a couple pages and we let it last a long time. So it's not a situation where I'm like, oh, I need to read this aloud for 30 minutes every single day. I need to finish this book in 10 days or 2 weeks or in a month. It doesn't matter to us when we finish it. We just read a couple of pages every day. It's kind of like, one analogy that I heard is it's like a good friend. Do you want to see a good friend and spend a couple of days with them and then go years without seeing them again? Or do you want to meet them for coffee every single day and just really have this relationship with them? So I always recommend reading aloud unabridged classics, because as you read that aloud, your kids are learning from you. Many of these classics are not too hard for them. And I just love the illustrations in our originals. We always look forward to getting to the pages that have the illustrations on them. It's actually kind of exciting for whatever reason, because as you go, you are picturing these scenes in your head, and then bam, there's a beautiful illustration to kind of help you adjust what you're seeing in your head, or maybe you disagree with the picture and you want to talk about, no, that's not what I saw in my head, and draw a picture of it yourself. So check out our Usborne Illustrated Originals and pick one to be your morning read aloud. Finally, an art recommendation. I love our art treasury. This is such a cool book because something like this I would just use once a week or once every other week. So here we have The Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh. We get to observe it You can discuss with your kids what they see, what stands out to them. Did this artist use dark colors or light colors? I am not an artistic person whatsoever. That's not something that just comes naturally to me. I have to really make an effort, but you can ask them if they like it, if they don't like it. It tells a little bit about Van Gogh, about his life, and then you can make your own swirly picture. So this one tells you the materials that you need. It says to add glue to make the paint thicker to get that texture look going on. And then you have another painting to learn about, artists to learn about, and how to paint that as well. Again, you can use these as like a starting point. You don't have to try to zoom through and finish the entire book in a year. Say you do this painting one day, you're learning about Henry Rousseau, he painted this in 1910, and your kids are like, we really like that picture. Actually, we like drawing that. We want to learn more about Henry Rousseau. I don't know how to say that. But anyways, Google it. Google paintings by Henry Rousseau. Look up more paintings by him and discuss them together in the following weeks. Just like the friend analogy, I feel that way with paintings too. We observe one artist for several weeks at a time before we switch to a different artist. That way we can really get an idea for their technique. Here's Monet. We spent 12 weeks studying Monet. We didn't study him himself the whole 12 weeks. We did learn about his life. We got a short biography to read about him. Libraries often will have things like that. And we looked at his paintings over the course of that time, and we tried to recreate most of them that we studied. My kids are not very artistic either. Sometimes they are not into the activity, sometimes they are. I find that using different mediums like watercolors or acrylics or oils or crayons, it doesn't matter, just incorporating different techniques kind of helps switch things up and keeps it fun. It also, if you've seen me talking about the learning rich environment, inviting that creativity into your home. If you have any questions for me about these books or other recommendations, you know I'm here to help you out. So just shoot me a message or drop your comment in the comments of this post, and I will help you match up books for your family.